Hi there, welcome. Welcome, friends. Welcome to Homekeepers. Well, I'm so glad you're there. I'm so glad to be here, and I hope that if you've never seen the program before, it won't be your last time. I do want to welcome you, and also those regular viewers out there. I hear from you every day, a lot of you, and boy, it's just an upper to receive your emails and your letters and so forth. Great encouragement that kind of indicates to me we're on the right track. And I know we're on the right track today with our guest. I am so happy to announce that Dr. George Malkmus is back. Come on, you guys. We're glad he's back. I checked the records. The first time he came on here was in 1999, and I'd never heard of him or anything. And this group of people came in with him, and they were just Dr. Malkmus this, Dr. Malkmus that, and now I'm, Dr. Malkmus. Some of them had followed his plan and been restored beautifully, completely from very, very kind of almost last stages of MS. And he is the founder of Hallelujah Acres. And he's told his story on here, I believe, almost every year since 1999. And he's going to tell it again because we have new viewers. And Rhonda, his wife, is with him. Always glad to have her. And she's got quite an amazing story as well that she has given. But we'll recap that too. But I am the proud owner of this brand new cookbook, Rhonda's Culinary Creations. It's hot off the press, and so I scrambled and called their corporation and all and said I want to offer this today. So we worked out a situation where we could, and first of all, let me tell you about it. It's just, I would say, the most beautiful, and there are beautiful cookbooks out there, gorgeous. But this one is by far the prettiest one I've ever seen. And don't let it fool you, because I noticed, and I've only had a quick opportunity to go through it, it's got a lot of recipes on each page. So if you are interested in just relearning how to eat, and most of all to be healthy, this is the one you want. This is the one I've kind of been waiting for, because she had one out in 1999 when we started, so I'm glad she has another one out. If you would like this recipe, or this recipe book, the information's on your screen, and it's for that gift of $35. That's a bargain, friends, really, when you see what you get. And that includes your shipping and handling. So the number you call if you want to use your credit card is 1-800-229-0059. Or you can write to us and request the book. You can just request Rhonda's book. We'll know what it is. And that gift of at least $35, we will get it out to you. And I can say this with full, absolute, complete assurance that if you follow what's in there, it will change your life, no question. And I've joined Stephanie over here. We're making a very healthy recipe today.
It's super simple, but super tasty.
I know, because we always do really healthy recipes, don't
always, we? Always. I want to take 1 second. I want to thank Louetta for her beautiful anniversary card and letter. It was so very nice. So thank you, Louetta.
And she must be one of your fans.
I hope so.
Would that make 26?
I think I'm up there.
26 fans for Stephanie.
Hey.
Girl, you're getting up there with Justin Bieber or whatever
his
name is.
Okay,
I saw him go on with Matt Lauer to put him on Twitter or something, and that he endorsed Matt Lauer, and like 45,000 came up just like that. So you're getting there.
I'm getting there. 26, 45,000. What's the difference?
Yeah, and you're going to hear all about these recipes, but basically Dr. Malkmus says if you eat 85% raw, 15% cooked, no animal product of any kind, you're going to really be a lot healthier. So this is one of their salads, and it's what? It's a orange spinach salad.
And then you're doing the
And I'm doing the herb dressing.
Yes.
Which is a third a cup of lemon juice. Don't tell Dr. Malkmus we got out of a jar, because he would squeeze it. I won't tell him that.
Okay.
And a quarter cup of honey.
And I have a little,
And you are chopping little green onions.
And don't forget, scallions, if you don't cut these tips off, you can just stick them in water and they just grow right back. I do it all the time in my own kitchen.
And then you use them?
And then you just cut them. Yep. And then you keep cleaning the cup out, the water, rinse it out, and they'll just keep growing.
Okay, we got a really finely chopped clove of garlic, using my fingers to get it out, and basil, and some distilled water. I do drink distilled water all the time. I think Dr. Malkmus will be proud of me on that.
Salt.
Salt. He says Celtic sea salt. That's what we have, isn't it?
Sure.
A tablespoon of minced onion, which is very tiny, and a little bit of oregano.
Yep.
Okay.
You just whip that up.
That's got to taste good.
Yep. And then I just have some romaine lettuce cut up, and I have some spinach.
Fresh spinach.
Yep. Very good for you. And then we have some mandarin oranges. I'm just going to put that in there.
He would probably peel the orange. These came in a jar, we'll be honest. They didn't have any mandarin oranges.
And then I have a half a cup of grapes. Yummy.
Ooh, it's pretty.
And
Oh, the almonds.
Yep, I have the almonds over here.
I want to taste this dressing a little bit. I love good salad dressing. And probably this would be better if it just hung out a while, you know.
Oh, yes.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
Very good.
So we'll just put it on here and we'll do a little toss.
That is good.
You know, you can be super simple and it can be super tasty. You don't always have to have this dramatic, long cooking session to have some good food.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
If it's got Dr. Malkmus' stamp of approval,
you know it's good.
You can trust it.
That smells so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Put the rest of the almonds over it.
And no problem. The like I said, I really think if you let this hang out a while.
Oh yeah,
because
because all the flavors will marry and get chilled.
Get me some spinach here.
Give me an orange here.
We always. Okay.
That's a winner. That is good.
Absolute winner. And if you have not met Dr. Malkmus and Rhonda, you're in for a treat. I hope you can really concentrate. So stay with me. I'm going to join them in just a minute. That's good.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, please send your request along with a gift of $5 or more to Homekeepers, P.O. Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758.
Oh, it's always an absolute delight to have you, Dr. Malkmus, and glad Rhonda's here.
It's always a thrill to be with you.
Yes, and Rhonda, so glad to have you, and congratulations on this beautiful.
Thank you.
And I understand you did all this in-house?
We have a staff of 50 full-time employees. We have 20 in marketing alone, and everything in that was done in-house. The photography, the illustrations.
How do you keep coming up with?
I guess it's just God.
Indeed. So I'm glad to be one of the first ones to get that. You know, it's so important that that we recap, and I want each of you, you know, just to recap your stories. Number one, your mother died of colon cancer, right?
Correct.
How old was she?
She was 65.
That's young.
Yeah.
And then you attend her funeral, finding out you have colon cancer.
Yeah, Mom had colon cancer before me. She was a nurse, went the doctor route, and at her death, I was convinced it wasn't the cancer that killed her, it was the treatments. So,
Really?
Yeah. And so here I come along, have the same colon cancer, and although Mom had raised me, you know, when you get sick, you go to the doctor, you do what he said. I saw what happened to Mom when she did what the doctor said, and I didn't want to go that route. So I went looking for an alternative, and in my search, I turned to an evangelist in Texas by the name of Lester Roloff, who discouraged me from going the medical route and encouraged me to do something as simple as change what I ate.
Okay, now Dr. Roloff was a really multitasking minister. He was a radio and he was pastor. But the little bit I've read about him, I didn't see anything about food and diet. Why did you go to him?
Well, he was really praised for his gospel message, but criticized severely by preachers for his health message.
Oh.
See, he was teaching what I'm teaching. And he discouraged me from going the medical route, encouraged me to change my diet from the standard American meat-based sugar dessert cooked food diet I'd been on for the previous 42 years to the diet God gave Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden in Genesis 1:29, 100% plant foods. And he said, drink a lot of carrot juice. And I made the diet change overnight. Within a matter of weeks, my rectal bleeding stopped. Within a year, my baseball-sized tumor had vanished, disappeared without any medical intervention whatsoever. And God used that cancer to birth a ministry. I was pastoring at the time. And I realized that, hey, we don't have to be sick. And so God used that ministry to birth a new ministry called Halley Acres.
First of all, I think it took you a lot of guts to say bye to the doctors. But to think that the rectal bleeding stopped, what, within weeks or
Matter
days?
of weeks, yeah. Yeah, as the body started to heal. Our body is self-healing if we'll just give it the right nutrition. And folks just don't realize that we literally have a self-healing body if we will stop the offense, stop putting in the things that are causing the problem and start putting in the good nutrition that'll rebuild.
Okay, then you meet this lovely lady who didn't buy anything you were selling, basically. But in a way, your story's even more dramatic because when you think of arthritis, you think nothing's going to heal that.
That's what I was told.
Yeah. Tell us how you seem to get it in every joint in your body.
Well, in 1981, I was on my way to a Tupperware party, driving my brand new Renault car. Had a young lady with me, and we approached an unmarked railroad crossing, and she screamed, "Oh my gosh, there's a train." I slammed on the brakes, and the car stopped. It was too close to the tracks. I tried to restart the engine, and the car stalled. And the train kept coming, and it hit head on. There were two impacts. The first one when the train hit the car, the second one when the car landed, and upside down by the railroad track, and I ended up on the passenger side. She ended up on my lap.
And how many bones, I'm sure every bone joint in your body was affected, but did you have a lot of broken bones?
None. Neither of us had a broken bone, and the doctors couldn't believe it. But the end result of that was arthritis.
The impact.
Every joint in my body.
And so you started on this to prove that he's wrong.
That's right.
That's great.
He told me about the healthy diet, and I didn't think it could work for me because the doctor told me
Nothing's
there's
going to help
nothing-
arthritis.
That's
yeah.
right. And I'll never forget the first morning I woke up and I didn't hurt anywhere. I thought, oh my gosh, I've died and gone to heaven.
How long did it take before your pain was gone? Because we're talking, and I know because of family members, I know the impact of a fall. I know I have a relative who eventually had a knee replacement because of a serious fall, and the arthritis moved in, and it was bone on bone and all that. So how long were you on this diet before you thought, oh, I don't have any pain?
I'll never forget the day I woke up and I didn't have any pain. I think it was about a year. It takes about a year for the body to rebuild. So I guess I always tell people, don't get weary in well-doing, for in due season, thou faint not. You'll reap the benefits.
And I do want to get the website up now. We'll keep it on the rest of the show. And the reason I do this is a fabulous website. And you can go in there and click on it, and you can click on testimonies. This ministry is huge, and it wasn't when I first met you. Look what I've done for you. Okay, my sister, I have a sister who's diagnosed with cancer. It was very early on. She's fine. There was no chemo or anything. But she got busy with your stuff, and she orders it. She gave me two questions for you. What about calcium?
Calcium, our body needs calcium, but not in the form of a pill. In pill form, it's calcium carbonate, and those pills, the calcium carbonate joins with cholesterol to form plaque and hardening of the arteries.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I took one this morning.
It causes kidney stones and gallstones, and I mean, it's not the form of calcium our body needs. Our calcium should come from your green salad. That's loaded with calcium in its proper form. And so there's so much lack of knowledge among the Christian community. They think we can take a pill and it's going to fix everything.
Oh, yeah, I got all these calcium pills. Okay, the other one she wanted to ask was the olive oil. Should it be cold pressed, or
Okay.
is that really
There are
important?
only two oils that we recommend, and olive oil, but it needs to be extra virgin, cold pressed. You see, extra virgin olive oil is from the pressing of the flesh without any heat. If it just says olive oil, it's from the heat processing of the seed, and that's not the type of olive oil we want. And also, we don't want to cook with olive oil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, use it for your
I
salads.
thought I was doing so good.
Well, I didn't mean to bust your
I
bubble.
stir fry just vegetables,
But-
just barely. They're still crunchy, but I do it in olive
But
oil.
if we're going to cook use an oil for cooking, we want to use
Coconut.
coconut oil. Coconut
Really?
Oil. Coconut oil takes the heat and does not break down.
And it's good for you, okay?
Yep.
I want to get back to Dr. Roloff. I think it's so interesting that you turned him. I have a picture of him. I'm sure a lot of people heard of him through the years, and he died too soon in a plane crash.
He went up in a thunderstorm. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a picture of Dr. Lester Roloff, and you can thank him
For my life.
for your life.
I really
yeah.
believe that.
Yeah, yeah, and I just want the audience to see that. All right, now I do a lot of juicing, and you know I'm not perfect because boy I do.
Well,
a
none
brownie
perfect.
once
No,
in a
not one. The Bible says.
But organic is so expensive. Is that important?
Well, we have 12 foods that should never be consumed commercially. We call them the dirty dozen, and that's on our website. And those are the ones we need to really buy organic. The others we can get by with non-organic because they are cheaper. But we want to be careful of those that are so heavily sprayed and have so much toxins on them.
Now, do you take any supplements?
I sure do.
And what are they?
Well, Barley Max is,
I do that.
yeah, right. And really it's not a supplement, it's a whole food. It's just been reduced to a powder
How
form.
much do you take?
I take a heaping teaspoon 3 times a day.
Oh, well, I take that at least that much in the morning.
Right.
Take a big pillow of water in it.
Right.
Yeah.
And we take B12.
Okay.
Yeah, that's important.
If you take B12 that you get in the vitamin store, is that okay?
We take a sublingual B12. It enters the bloodstream almost intravenously. And we have our B12 product and also has B6 and folic in it. I also take an iodine supplement. Iderol is the product we use. But so many thyroid problems today. And it's because of lack of iodine in the diet. Another thing that we both take every day is vitamin D. That's the sunshine vitamin. But most people do not get enough sunshine. And so we personally also take 5,000 international units of vitamin D each day, D3. And those are the basic ones. I take a few others, but for...
We have now, are all these things you talked about, they can get them from your website? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. You know, you probably grew up like I did, learning to cook from your mother. Maybe we had home ec in school, I don't know.
Yes.
And, you know, you learn the basics and all. And here you are putting out a book like this when his plan is 85% raw, 15% cooked.
Right.
Boy, that baked potato must taste good.
That's wonderful.
And you can put a lot in a baked potato.
Yes,
Man,
you can.
Put salsa, and salsa's good, you
Yep.
know, if you make your own. But how did you come up with all of this? There are a lot of recipes in here.
Well, there's also a lot of little tidbits about how to and what for, and so tips in there as well. It was just an experience. It was a learning experience. I've always loved to cook. I always dreamed of writing a recipe book. I didn't know it'd be that kind. Because I grew up on a farm in Iowa and grew up on the standard American diet just like everybody else. But when I met this man, he changed my life and changed my thinking. So it just became my desire to be able to teach others what they needed to know. And I guess God has given me a gift for what tastes good when it's mixed together. So that's, and I've had teachers, I've gone to school.
Are there
and learned.
breads in here?
Are there breads? Yes, ma'am.
I love bread. Just let me remind you again, we are offering this book. It's brand new. It is beautiful. It's so well done. I would say there's not a more lovely recipe book out there. And for your gift of $35 to the program, we will send it to you. And 1-800-229-0059 is your number for credit cards. So if you write to me at Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758, and my friends who are kind of vision impaired ask me to be sure and say it, even though you can see it. Dr. Malkmus, when you came in here the first time, there was a lady that had MS, which is one of the most horrible, words you could get from a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
At what point, anywhere in the progress of the disease, if you change diet, can it help?
We have dozens of MS testimonies.
Mm-hmm. And that's on the website, friends. I've read them.
Right. And we had one lady up in the state of Maine. All she could do was barely shuffle for the last 20 years.
20?
For 20 years with a walker. Mm-hmm. And she got on our diet, and 1 year later she climbed the highest mountain in Maine.
In 1 year?
In 1 year, her symptoms were gone. We had a pastor got on it with MS, and by x-ray, the lesions even disappeared. In the brain. It is amazing the healing power of the body. God gave us a marvelous self-healing body, but we have never been taught that this self-healing is there or how to implement it. And that's what we do. We teach people how to activate that self-healing.
Do you believe the churches have failed, the pastors have failed?
Absolutely. We are a triune being. We are comprised of body, soul, and spirit. And you'll hear all about the soul and spirit in the church, but you can sit in the pew till the cows come home and never hear a message on how to maintain this physical body. My people are being destroyed for lack of knowledge, the scripture says. And it's so sad, because if we don't maintain this temple, the dwelling place of the Holy Spirit, will never fulfill the ministry God has called us to.
People have their view of politics and all. This has nothing to do with politics. But I certainly agree with the present First Lady, who is trying to get our kids to eat better, getting better food in the schools and getting more exercise, because I go to this big store quite often. It's called Walmart, where America, and I'm seeing more and more and more of the little scooters.
I know.
And then I look in their basket, and it's absolute junk. It's everything in the boxes. They say don't shop on the inside of the store, but
around
the outside.
Perimeter, right.
And I hear a lot about how the genesis of so many really common and becoming more common, sorrowfully, diseases are from inflammation.
Right.
So how does your diet correct that?
Well, as we stop the abuse, as we stop putting in the meat, which causes incredible inflammation, we stop putting in the sugar, which also does, and the white flour products, and we start putting in the good nutrition found in these living plants, especially in the vegetable juices, it attacks that inflammation, it subsides. It is so incredible to see, sometimes in a matter of days, people are already noticing the reducing of inflammation and the improvement in their health.
Isn't arthritis from inflammation?
Absolutely. And we have so many wonderful testimonies there. Arthritis, whether it be rheumatoid or osteo, usually within a year it's gone.
Okay, what about cancer? I think cancer, maybe like most diseases, gets to a point of no return, no matter what you've done, no matter what you do.
I had cancer, and I went down that road, but I returned.
Yeah, what about the person that could be, in the last weeks, months?
Well,
weeks maybe.
The further along
and they've had a lot of chemo, and
the further along is, and the more chemo they've had, the more difficult it is for the body to respond. Although we have had some terminal stage 4 cancers respond, but if we could just catch them before they have all that chemotherapy, radiation, and even surgeries, because that hinders the immune system's ability to rebuild and correct the problem.
What about as I said, basically you are 85% raw,
Right.
15% cooked. And how much carrot juice did you consume while you were trying to get rid of that tumor?
Oh, a couple of quarts a day.
Really?
Yeah, right.
Whoa. And how much do you do now?
We personally go through a 25-pound bag of organic carrots and juicing every week.
Every week.
Yep. Plus the celery we put in there and some of the other things.
My favorite is carrots, celery, and apple. That's. But you can really.
You can make some wonderful combinations.
And you can put a lot of spinach in that. That's a good way to get spinach in a kid.
A little bit of ginger in there will spice it up a little bit. Oh, it's wonderful.
We've only got a minute or so, but I just wondered, when you first started out on this, I know you were in a lot of pain and all that, but did you think, I wonder if I can really do this?
Oh, yeah. It was so different from anything that I'd ever been taught. And I guess that's where the challenge for me came in, was learning to find foods that taste good. And so I tried a lot of foods that didn't taste good. So that's where the recipes came in. I figured if I needed help, other people needed help too. And
we are just about out of time. I want to remind you again, I think we're the first ones to offer this new cookbook. And the information is on your screen. I hope you'll take advantage of it. I hope that you will take to heart what's been said. This is time for just maybe a one-word answer. No matter what you do, when you make an effort, your body responds.
What you sow, you reap.
Even if you don't do everything you do, if you start doing what he does, there's...
Every little bit is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah. So don't be discouraged, you know, get started, because I have every confidence in the world that this guy is right. I have no doubt whatsoever. And so I hope you took note of that website, and you can learn a whole lot more from there, and you're welcome anytime. I hope you know that. And you join me, friends, next time, remembering there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you would like a video copy of today's Homekeepers program for just $19.95, call 1-800-229-0059 for credit card orders, or send a gift of at least $19.95 to Homekeepers, P.O. Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758. Be sure to note the program number which appears on your screen.